Rephael Perkel is known for his unique blend of South African Jewish music, which combines Torah and Jewish identity. His calm, spiritual approach allows for a unique sound. Rephael has been recording his latest album in Johannesburg and tells us about his Judaism, music, and how it all comes together in his latest work.
I developed a passion for music really from the word go. I was given a guitar for my 12th birthday, and I've never looked back since. It took me a while to master the language of music, but I did it relatively quickly. I took some lessons in guitar for a year from a local teacher, and I spent a lot of time just investigating and learning the technical language of music. And so over the years, in my high school years, I participated in rock and roll bands in those days. After that, I became involved in my Jewish identity at the age of 27, and my musical passion and my musical talents became directed towards expressing that aspect of my life. For me, music has a very sacred purpose. I mean, music can be put to many different purposes, and many people do put it to different purposes, which are not necessarily spiritual at all. But for me, I think the central purpose and the value of music and the inherent core quality within music is really a deeply spiritual one. To quote the Baal HaTanya, one of the most important authors of Hasidic wisdom, if words are the pen of the heart, we can all understand what that means, then music is the pen of the soul. So the first album that I did was in collaboration with friends, a group called Neshima, and that's going back 18, 19 years. We did an album of original music, including some sacred melodies from the Hasidic tradition, as well as some Shlomo Carlebach melodies, and that's been my trend since then. My second album was a few years after that. It's going back to 2006, 2007, and that was a solo album using session musicians, where I followed the same kind of pattern, original songs of my own, combined with some tracks of Hasidic Nigunim and one or two Carlebach melodies as well. The third album is really going to be a collection of more original melodies. I think that my songwriting is now reaching a more sophisticated level than ever before. The chord sequences and structures and melodic arrangements that I've got, I'm very happy with, are touching a more sophisticated space than I've done before.
I've been working with Rephael for the last 15 years, and I mean, it's been an organic process, and he's great. He comes with ideas. Sometimes I think, what? And I just give him a chance, and usually his ideas work out in the end. He's got quite a nice, in fact, a very good musical sus, and he understands the process. And because we've been working together for a long time, the process is quite mature, and I give him the time. And he also listens to me, which is what I like about him. If I have an idea, he'll give me a chance to try it.
He understands music from the inside, and a very laid-back and connecting person to work with. So very happy to have Neil as my producer, or co-producer and engineer.
Ray, so let's just go for it. Let's do a take. If you're not happy, we can try another one.
Some of the important musicians that I've been working with in the studio on my new album are Peter Sclair on bass. He's a very great talent and a very lyrical and fluid bass player, which is the kind of style that I like in my music. Then I've brought in Louis Mhlanga, who's a very well-known Zimbabwean living in South Africa. His technique and his lyrical way of playing, absolutely beautiful musician and a beautiful person to work with. Yinon Folkson, a local young friend who's also an upcoming talent on the Jewish music scene, also a very beautiful songwriter, so he's responsible for drums and percussion. And then I've got various friends that have come in with voice as well, voice harmonies and additional voice parts. South African Jewish music, in one sense, doesn't have any major difference from Jewish music anywhere. But for me personally, I think there's something very important about the local environment within which Jewish music is created. One of the most important things about Judaism as a religion for me personally, and I think it's something that is borne out by the sages in the Talmud, is that the collective Jewish soul has been scattered among the nations to acquire connection with the local cultures and, in a certain sense, liberate the spiritual potential that exists everywhere we find ourselves. So as a Jew in Africa, I'm certainly influenced by African rhythms, and a lot of my songs have an African flavor.